Hello and welcome to latest news update on Canary News. The coordinated efforts among developed world central banks over the past 4 years may soon start to weaken as domestic factors become more influential in determining inflation outlooks. New Zealand, known for its early adoption of inflation targeting, could lead this trend by breaking away from the synchronized policies. There are indications that the US, Eurozone, Switzerland, and the UK may also diverge in their monetary policy paths due to varying economic conditions. The International Monetary Fund's latest forecasts underscore this divergence, with the US showing improvement, the Eurozone facing challenges, and the UK experiencing a tough situation with a downturn in the economy and high inflation. Financial strategists advise investors to consider the growth disparities between the US and Europe, favoring US assets and currencies. Meanwhile, central banks like the Reserve Bank of Australia and the Bank of Canada are expected to remain relatively more hawkish compared to their global counterparts. However, Japan may move in the opposite direction by potentially hiking interest rates for the first time since 2007. There are concerns about central banks making premature easing decisions that could undermine credibility gains or delaying cuts too much, risking growth and falling inflation. The shift in inflation drivers, with services and wages playing a larger role, adds complexity to analyzing inflation trends. Central banks may need to tailor their policies to address local pressures, which could lead to more varied approaches. Despite this divergence, broader trends in technology, energy, and commodities will likely maintain some consistency in policy direction across economies. Nonetheless, structural differences such as population growth rates, energy dependencies, and housing dynamics will ultimately lead to a reduction in policy uniformity among central banks. In other tech news, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is pursuing approval from the US government for a significant venture aimed at enhancing global production of artificial intelligence chips. This venture, which involves raising billions of dollars from potential investors worldwide, could face scrutiny due to national security and antitrust concerns in Washington. Altman has engaged in discussions with various investors and partners across different regions, but emphasized the need for approval from US authorities before proceeding. The plan involves collaborating with semiconductor giants like Taiwan Semiconductor, Intel, and Samsung. Altman has met with US Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo and is arranging meetings with other officials to seek their support. The ambitious fundraising initiative may trigger national security reviews of foreign investments and could raise antitrust issues, prompting the need for government approval. Altman is exploring various options, including potentially establishing a new company separate from OpenAI, which could lead to concerns regarding competition and antitrust regulations. The exact details of Altman's plan are still evolving, and decisions regarding the scope and scale of the project will influence the amount of funding required. Additionally, Altman is considering incorporating measures to enhance the availability of green energy for AI chip manufacturing, which could further increase the project's cost. However, seeking foreign investment, particularly from entities like the United Arab Emirates Wealth Fund, could attract scrutiny from regulatory bodies, including the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. Altman's initiative also poses challenges regarding US export controls on semiconductor shipments to regions like the Middle East, where there are concerns about potential ties to China. Furthermore, Altman's plan may present implications for the US government's semiconductor subsidies under the 2022 CHIPS Act, although it remains unclear how it aligns with or competes against those efforts. On to the latest news from the gaming industry. Nintendo shares experienced a significant drop, falling by up to 8.8%, following reports that the company has postponed the launch of its successor to the Switch console until early 2025. The delay was communicated to Nintendo's game publishing partners, who were advised not to anticipate the release of a new console until at least March 2025. This news led to Nintendo's largest intraday decline since October 2021, although losses later narrowed to a 5.8% drop. Investors, who had previously driven Nintendo's stock to an all-time high, may continue selling shares amid expectations of a new console release in 2024. Mio Kato from Lightstream Research noted that newer investors may be less patient for visible results from Nintendo, potentially impacting the company's fiscal performance in March 2025 if key software releases are delayed alongside aging hardware. The delay in the next-generation console could also affect Nintendo's blockbuster game releases, such as Legend of Zelda and Mario, as they are typically associated with new hardware launches. Cirkin Toto, a video game consultant in Tokyo, suggested that without the new console, major game releases might be postponed. President Shuntaro Furukawa avoided discussions about new hardware during recent earnings reports, indicating that plans for the next fiscal year will be revealed later. Furukawa also acknowledged the challenge of selling more units of the existing console, given the already substantial sales of 139 million units. In the absence of a Switch successor for the holiday season, Nintendo faces competition from newer and more advanced consoles from Sony and Microsoft. However, Bernstein analyst Robin Zhu believes that some investors may view the decline in Nintendo's share price as an opportunity to buy, anticipating an announcement about the new hardware within the next 6 months. That is all the time we have for today. Tune in again tomorrow for the latest news update. Thank you for watching.